Born in San Francisco, California, Ansel Adams was a photographer and environmentalist. He was not a successful child at school academically and only received a diploma relative to completing the 8th grade, though this did not bother his parents or Adams as he found joy in the exploration of nature. However, Adams taught himself how to play the piano and to read music. This soon became his primary occupation and what he thought would be his long life career. The piano gave his life discipline, structure, and substance, which would later help his visual artistry and teachings of photography. The Yosemite, a national park located close by to where Adams lived, instilled a love for nature, whilst nurturing his love for photography. He became a parkkeeper there, and from this, his success as a photographer began to blossom. Pictorial photography was a movement peaking in the early part of the 20th century which tried to emulate painting and etching. Many pictorialists used soft focus filters, Vaseline on the lens, and various darkroom manipulations and processes to get a painterly look. He began to move away from a pictorial style of photography and began to pursue straight photography, where the clarity of the lens was emphasized and gave the final print no appearance of being manipulated by the camera or in a dark room.
These days, you're most likely to see the work of American photographer Ansel Adams on a postcard or on the wall of your boss's office. His photographs are so ubiquitous now that it's easy to walk by them without noticing their technical and aesthetic mastery. Indeed, thanks to things like Instagram and Snapchat, photographs in general are so ever-present in our lives that standards about what we believe to be great work in this field are drowned out by the literally billions of photos that are uploaded to these services every day.
I come across something that excites me. I see the picture in my mind's eye, and I make the photograph, and then I give it to you as the equivalent of what I saw and felt.
In the beginning, Ansel Adams took photographs not unlike all those millions of us on Instagram, as a visual diary of his experience. Adams took his first brownie box camera on trips to the Sierra Nevada mountains, the place that would enthrall him for the rest of his life. His early photographs are enthusiastic, but uninspired. Adams had that feeling that I have every single time I pick up a still camera, of not getting in the print what I see with my
Adams
eyes.
developed the famous and highly complex zone system of controlling and relating exposure and development, enabling photographers to creatively visualize an image and produce a photograph that matched and expressed that visualization. He also produced 10 volumes of technical manuals on photography, which are some of the most influential books ever written on the subject. Adams felt an intense commitment to promoting photography as a fine art and played a key role in the establishment of the first museum department of photography at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. For Adams, photography may have been his calling, but the environment was his passion, and he was an activist in the promotion of environmental issues involving the Yosemite National Park, the National Park System, and above all, the preservation of wilderness. Adams believed in both the possibility and the probability of humankind living in harmony and balance with its environment. When taking photographs, Adams used straight photography to pursue the natural beauty he revered and loved. His photographs aimed at the intensification and purification of the natural beauty in the wilderness. Straight or pure photography is creating an image that objectively portrays the reality of the world, without manipulating the photograph after it has been produced. With the use of editing technologies, techniques that Ansel Adams once used can be incorporated with digital enhancements to further the effects of nature's beauty. Photographs can now be manipulated to demonstrate a singular or multiple colors to drastically enhance and intensify the image. This is especially effective on images portraying natural landscapes, such as this one. This first learning experience aims at engaging students in the wonders of photography. First, show the video focusing on Ansel Adams. Focus on what the students will be capturing and what the audience will be feeling when they look at those images. Focus on natural landscapes and attempt to limit man-made structures. Also discuss the importance of maintaining the local environment around the community. Students will have the opportunity to explore their local environment and take photos of the natural landscapes that surround them. Remind students to focus on what they want the audience to see and feel when they look at the image that they have taken. Students will then be required to choose one picture they have taken which they will attempt to manipulate in the next lesson. This learning experience looks at the manipulation of their chosen photo. Introduce the use of Pixlr and mention to students that they will be attempting to create a black and white image similar to that of Ansel Adams. However, they have to choose one aspect of the photo to saturate in color. For example, a photo of the beach may have the ocean water saturated in blue, whilst the rest of the photo remains black and white. Demonstrate to students how to upload their chosen photo to the computer, then upload the same photo to the Pixlr website. Here, they can experiment with the effects and tools before beginning the activity. This will help build interest. Gather students' attention and demonstrate step by step the processes of how to desaturate the image. To make the process even easier for both the teacher and the students, the step-by-step guide can be found on the website or print out copies for students to have and to look at. Learning Experience 3 focuses on celebrations. Introduce to students that they will be using their manipulated images to create a calendar. Each group will be allocated a month of the year and be required to research the important dates of that month, which are celebrated in Australia. Also host a birthday poll and include the students' birthdays on the calendar. Note them on the board to reduce distractions for the later in the lesson. Also encourage students to look for key environmental dates such as Clean Up Australia Day or Earth Hour. To help promote inclusion, incorporate different cultural backgrounds within the classroom and the events in which they celebrate on the calendar. And don't forget to include important school dates, for example, the start and the finish of the school terms. This learning experience aims at incorporating the manipulated image, the key calendar dates, all into one. Guide the students to the website provided, and from here they'll be able to upload their created image onto their calendar month that they have been given. Model to students how to upload the photo to the website, as well as to show them how to change to the correct year, month, and the preferred layout. Once the students have uploaded their photo and they have their correct settings, proceed to print the calendar month. Make sure there's enough copies for each student in the classroom. From here, they can fill in the key dates on each page of the calendar. This may be time consuming. If some groups finish quickly, get those groups to help the other groups who are struggling. When putting them together, ensure that students collect a copy of each month and order them correctly for hole punching and then string tie them together. This is what the final product should look like.